This episode, we talk about my first host. Her name was Lisa. And then we talk about Beth, which is my ex, and she was on previous podcasts as well. We also tackle avoidant personalities and codependency. When someone tells you you're the liar and there's nothing wrong, you got to look at them. We also get into more of my background and the relationships I've been in. We also continue to talk about narcissistic patterns. Let's start with Lisa, my first co host. So, what did you think about Lisa?
What did I think about her? Do you want me to be honest?
Well, yeah, you
She,
got to be brutally honest.
okay, I'm gonna be honest. So my vibe I got from her was that she has a low self-esteem, and so she takes everything as like a sexual thing, because that's how she gets attention and how she feels loved. But she like sexualizes everything, so like that's her ammo to bring people in. You know,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I figure she likes the attention from the
she loves
guys.
the attention. She loves the attention because she feels empty on the inside, and she thinks by pretending to be this hot sexual, whatever hometown porn star or whatever, that she that's how she brings someone in, because maybe she's been rejected before, and that's how she's learned to, I guess, I don't know, attract men.
I don't think she's rejected before. I think she.
I don't know if she has, but there's some reason that just her being her normal self without the sexuality, like all the high sexual energy, there's some reason she has to bring that forward without just being her normal self, because maybe she feels like just her normal self isn't good enough.
Well, the funny thing is, she used to be in the HR department in a company until she got more
Mm.
money doing what she does now.
Okay.
Which I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, and I almost felt like, when the first 13 episodes of the podcast, I
Mm.
kind of thought that, yeah, I was trying to fix her, or why she was focusing on what she was focusing on, or maybe she
Mm.
has daddy issues, or
That could be it for sure.
she doesn't
Yeah,
know.
because she turned everything into like a sexual thing, like almost like, I don't know, like just like, can't you just, I guess, talk normal without, and then she would like try to say things to you to flirt with you, and then it seemed like you were a little bit uncomfortable and like, what?
Yeah, I didn't. I probably didn't realize that everything was sexual, or she turned everything sexual.
Everything. She's like, I have long blonde hair and da 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 da. Like everything. Like, just be a normal woman. You don't have to put on that big character.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, she drank a lot.
Yeah. So then, yeah, and some people feel like they have to drink a lot also to, I don't know, when people are over sexualized and people drink a lot and stuff like that, like they've got some deep rooted issues, and that's how they cope. And maybe they're not comfortable with the sexual stuff. Like maybe they aren't comfortable with it, so they drink.
Alcohol and sexual behavior can both be used to numb stress, avoid emotional pain, distract from insecurities or loneliness. That's the other thing. So, Beth used to drink just to loosen up because she was too
Mhm.
uptight or in her head
Mhm.
a lot, and so she used that to relax.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people do. And that's okay. You can drink and relax if you can be normal while you do it. But if it's messing up your relationships and your life and causing you issues, then that's not okay. That's not balanced.
Yeah, but what is normal?
What is normal? This is what I would guess the DSM-5's normal would be, just being able to at dinner have one or two drinks and leaving it as that. Not normal is starting to binge, starting fights in relationships, being hungover so you call off work all the time, just not being able to function properly and overdoing it.
Oh.
I think, yeah, part of the DSM-5, they say for women, like more than 2 drinks a day is considered being like a quote unquote alcoholic in so many words.
Oh, jeez.
And those drinks that they're saying are like, I think they're like 6 to 8 ounces, so they're tiny as well. They're not just like, you know, a big glass of wine or something.
Yeah, see, that just gives me flashbacks of when I had a relationship with Beth. So she used to get those boxes of wine,
Oh, box of wine. Hell yeah, I got that in high school.
and I think there are like 34 glasses in that box, something like that.
Oh,
And she would drink it in like a couple days.
damn. That's serious.
Yeah, and I'm like, why are you drinking so much? And then she would yell at me. It's like, are you calling
Because
me
she
an
felt
alcoholic?
embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because she's embarrassed. Yeah, for sure.
And then
I would be embarrassed too.
she threatened me to not go out with me anymore if I call her an alcoholic.
Because you called her out.
Well, I didn't really call her an alcoholic. I was just concerned because she was stumbling around, going
Right.
towards the bed.
And you brought it to her attention, and she didn't like that.
Nope, not at all.
I've had drinking problems before, so I totally understand stuff like that as well. But I got my act together like almost 11 years ago, so I had a lot of problems, and I would drink. I drank. I didn't realize until after I stopped drinking and like worked on myself that I was drinking because I felt very insecure. I had a lot of anxiety. I felt like things in my life were out of control. So I would just drink until I blacked out because that's the only relief I felt.
I mean, how would they be out of control?
Just things in like I don't know. Like I can only speak for myself, but like I don't know if you don't have your relationship, if you're having fighting in relationships, if you don't like your job, like if things just aren't how you like them to be, so you run and drink till you black out because that's the only sense of relief you feel, or that's when you feel like, oh, I can finally be myself. I'm just, I'm not this tight person.
So going out and getting what you want isn't one of the options?
What do you mean that's in getting what you want?
Like if you don't like
Oh,
your job, I mean, you can go find something that you like to do.
well, yeah, in a normal person's mind, if in a non-addict mind, yes, that's what a healthy person would do. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I had like my first girlfriend, Annette.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know her.
Yeah.
Her mother was a big alcoholic, and she pretty much controlled our relationship, even in our
Mhm.
20s.
Mhm.
And she gave the assumption like all men are jerks, all men are cheaters and liars. And of course, fast forward to Beth, she thought the same
Mhm.
thing. When someone's been hurt more than once, the brain tries to protect itself by creating a rule like they're all the same. It feels safer than risking disappointment again. My mom told me that I have a pattern of liking those aggressive type people.
Mhm.
But I like people, at least women that know what they want.
There's a difference between being aggressive and knowing what you want. And I know you grew up with your mom being aggressive and assertive and getting her way as well. So maybe something inside of you might be, it feels comforting to you. Like it feels like home when these women kind of have these commonalities with her.
See, this is what I wanted to talk to you about.
Mm-hmm.
So when me and my sister, when we grew up
Mm-hmm.
with my mom, she was single, she was dating a lot, And we saw the abuse from other men. I
Mhm.
also saw the abuse from my sister and
Mhm.
boyfriends that would abuse her.
Okay.
And of course, I was the youngest, so the only thing
Mhm.
I can do is try to protect them um, in any way that I can, but I couldn't because I was too young.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I going to do? Punch their kneecaps off?
Mhm.
It's like,
Right.
I mean, they struggle. At least my mom struggled pretty much until she met Buddy.
Mhm.
So Buddy was safe.
Mhm.
So he wasn't aggressive. He wasn't anything, and he was somebody that she can control.
Mhm.
So that's why she married him.
What I'm hearing from you is that you grew up saying nothing but toxic stuff. And I know your mom is toxic. And even though she married a guy that she could control, and it was, even though they weren't like arguing or like beating each other up or there was abuse, that's still not a regular relationship. That's not something that you can look up to and be like, oh, I remember my mom and so. I want a relationship just like theirs. So you've grown up seeing nothing but toxicity and not really a good example.
No, not really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was good at times, but then it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's how it is too. Like nothing is ever just straight constant abuse. There's ups and downs.
Yeah, because my grandfather was controlling,
Mm-hmm.
and I can picture an example. So my grandmother, it's almost like she didn't know how to turn on a tube TV. So what
Mm-hmm.
my grandfather did was he put a napkin on the floor and told her, "You have to step right here in this position in order to pop that little button on the tube TV to turn it on. That's how you turn it on." And so he kept that napkin on the ground for her to do exactly that.
What did she think about that? Like, did she seem like, why are you treating me like a baby? Or do you think she kind of liked being taken care of in that aspect?
I think on her aspect, she liked a man's man, so to say.
Hmm. Okay.
So he took care of things.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But that there's a difference between taking care of things and then being treated like you're a dumb kid.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear any yelling or anything. He was like quietly forceful, so to say.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they enjoyed each other for the most part.
I feel like everyone has a little something, everyone has a different dynamic to their relationship, and it depends on if it causes issues or if it doesn't. Like no relationship is 100% healthy.
To me, it always seems like it's a lack of communication. Like you can't build a relationship with someone who ignores your text, who disappears when things get real, or someone who avoids the hard conversations.
But it depends
Yeah,
on what you can handle.
yeah, I figure you go into any relationship with baggage, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're all people that were raised differently, and then we get together and try to like move in together and have a home and have a life together. But we're all from such different, just being raised by different personalities. So that makes us who we are and our outlook and our experiences. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like
Yeah, I don't think it's tough
my
either. It's how you handle it.
it's how you handle it. It's definitely how you handle it. And there can be people that have the same background and are like, but they just don't work. Or there's people like me and my husband. He was raised so, he was like in the Brady Bunch, white picket fence, like dad owned a business, mom stayed home and didn't work and stuff like that. And they just had, the like cookie cutter white family of America, And then I come from something a little bit different and a more like wild, toxic background. With my differences and his differences, there's something that we both see in each other that we needed.
That's how part of me grew up. So we kind of grew up with my mom's grandparents, and that reminds me, that's like a white picket fence kind of
Mm-hmm.
relationship where my grandfather owned a business and grandmother stayed at home and cooked and learned how to cook and feed the family, and then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, when the grandparents die, everything's out of whack and we don't have any place to go.
Mm-hmm.
None of the family gets back together, and now what do we do?
They were the stability.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it was always so much fun with the grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Like my grandmother, she had a cousins club, and
Mm-hmm.
we had so many cousins. I mean, there's probably
Aw.
hundreds of them that we went to the park and we did egg tosses with couples,
Mm-hmm.
and the one with their eggs still solid and not cracked, they won a prize
Aw.
kind of thing.
That sounds so nice.
Yeah, so we had those kind of things, and we got together
Mm-hmm.
that way.
Yeah, so that was like your bits of normalcy that you had in your life. Because you knew, like, oh, that's what it's supposed to be like. That's normal. But then you would go home to your mom.
Yeah, well,
And
see, my mom was
even,
never home though. So she had two jobs and she was struggling just to, keep a roof over our heads.
mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, my sister sees it differently. So, yeah,
Yeah.
she's gotten more abuse from my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of walk away from that stuff. So she can't abuse
Right.
me when I'm not around.
Right.
So,
Right. Also, and when you don't respond to it, I feel like your sister is more responsive. Like, she will argue back.
yeah,
And,
she has that PTSD response.
mm-hmm. Yep, fight, flight, or freeze, or there's a new one that's called fawn. You flight. You're like, bye, I'm out of here.
Yeah, my sister's quick to argue with her right now.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
But there's not, the destruction's already been done. So,
Absolutely.
so why would you fight for something that, my mom has dementia, so she's probably not going to
Yeah.
remember in the next
Yeah.
half hour or so.
Mhm. I just think it's been ingrained in her when she feels under attack for all these years. That's her just initial response. She doesn't think clearly like what makes sense. She just reacts.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yes.
And it's hard sometimes to stop and think rationally when you feel like you're under attack.
Yeah, even for the littlest things.
Mhm. Yeah. Yes. Yep. It's just wired. It's just a wired reaction.
Yeah, it's like when I was in the nursing home, I was, I was getting bored, but she was talking to me, and I was by her bedside, and she was holding my hand, and
Mhm.
I was looking around the room, like at the pictures that she has on the wall,
Yeah.
and I saw in her face she got irritated. So,
Hmm.
she got that her eyebrows down into that
Yeah.
certain position,
Yeah.
and she's like, "What are you looking at?" And then, I can hear her in the back of my head. It's like, you should be
Mhm.
paying attention to me 100% of the time,
Right.
so on and so forth. And I'm like, oh, I'm just looking at the pictures here. And then she kind of brightened up and it's like, oh, yeah, there's a lot of nice pictures. And then she started talking about the pictures
Yeah.
instead of worrying about me paying attention to her.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I would say if we're leading into like codependency, she would be like the controller. She needs to manage or like manipulate behaviors and feelings of other people to feel like security and order.
Yeah, because her life was out of control, so she needs to
Yep.
have control of something.
Yes, she needs to control something, and I know she has a lot of anxiety as well. So it's like that's her reaction is to control things because otherwise she feels uneasy. It affects people. It affects people's lives.
Yeah, it kind of turns it into a negative thing. Like when we were growing up,
Mhm.
she's controlling Buddy's money, but she still wants a
Mhm.
roof over our head
Yep.
when me and my sister are kids. She has good
Yeah.
intentions, but it turned out negatively
Mhm. Of course.
because she wasn't like a supporting mother,
Of course.
so to say. She was
Yeah.
sup-
How could you be if your emotions are out of control and you try to control others? No, nobody can control another person.
right. She's supporting things in like money wise and gift wise, but
Yes.
not
Yep.
not emotionally or mentally.
And that's probably the only way she knew how to show care and love because maybe it wasn't ever brought to her attention that these were issues, or was everyone kind of just uncomfortable and never said anything? Maybe she was unaware of the way she was acting. Do you think?
If nobody speaks up and say that there's something wrong, she's not going to know
Mm-hmm.
how to
Right,
adjust.
right. And people with mental health problems, they don't know these things. They think everything's great.
People can't normally see outside of themselves. Yeah, so that goes into another problem. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, all these podcasts seem to revolve around Beth
Mm-hmm.
because that's like everything balled into one. It's like
Mm-hmm.
my mother and her reactions are part of her as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's narcissistic. I mean, they both are controlling. So I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to go narcissistic ways, but I know Beth is severely controlling and
Mm-hmm.
narcissistic and makes
Mm-hmm.
up stuff. But
Yes.
it's almost like, how do you teach her a lesson when she doesn't want to learn the lessons?
You can't force, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink it. Nobody can force somebody to do something unless they have it in their mind that they're willing to be expansive and learn or want to learn. People don't change unless something's not working for them. So if people are going around being toxic, it's obviously working for them. Some way they're getting what they want from being toxic.
But
And
she knows that she's doing the wrong thing, but
mm,
she doesn't go about fixing anything.
she doesn't care because she's still getting her way. Nobody changes unless they are hurt from it. So she might be hurting other people, but she still gets whatever her way is because she is that controller. She needs to manage or manipulate people's behaviors and feelings. Um, they do it to reduce anxiety. They She probably did it as like, oh, I'm caring about you. I'm doing this to care about you because I care about you and love you so much. Or to manipulate, and they could use the victim mentality, like, oh, I'm the victim. But that's still trying to control somebody. It's
Right.
it's it's manipulating someone to feel something so that they can get their needs met. So if they're trying to control you and they're giving you a victim story, then that makes you feel bad about that for them. And then you give them what they want.
Yeah, but I don't. So that's why we kind of separated. Well, she
Mm-hmm.
separated from me, and there's some things I did on purpose so she would separate from me because it's easier
Mm-hmm.
for her to move on if she broke up with me as
Right.
opposed to the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she thought it was her idea.
So this tactic backfired. So let me give you an example. On Facebook, she's created multiple different accounts
Mm-hmm.
with her name, whether it's her maiden name or her first married name or some other name, but it always begin with Beth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if she broke up with me and she didn't like. She thought I exaggerated about what I did for work, and I'm like, no, I didn't. And then I showed her what I did from work by putting myself in pictures, and here's my customers, and even though it said in the workplace, don't film this, don't take pictures,
Yeah.
don't. I did it anyways because she always threatened to break up with me if I lied.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, why are you telling me what I do for work when you don't work at my job?
Right. Mhm.
So it kind of went around in circles, and that was kind of a stupid reason to leave. I mean, it
It
turned
wasn't.
into a not trusting thing.
It was. It's not about what you do or do not do for work. I think at that point in time, possibly, I mean, I'm just saying from my experience, I used to be very fucking toxic, like in my 20s, like really toxic. So what I've heard about her, I can line up with myself a little bit. Um, so at that point, something else was going on where she was trying to separate from you, and she was just using that as an excuse, like, oh, I think you're a liar. But maybe she was possibly lying at that time. But there was something, it's more about something else than the lie about work. It doesn't have to do about the lie about work. There's something else that she was using that as an outlet.
Well, yeah, she was chasing after a married man at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know when people are liars, when people are heavy liars, they always tell the other person, you're the liar, because they know that they're able to have all these relationships over the phone, and they have time and stuff to do all this stuff. So do you, but you're not thinking about cheating and lying and stuff. You're a guy living your normal life. But when she feels insecure about lying because she's doing it, number one, but number two, if she can do it, that means you can do it. So it wasn't about not believing your job. There's something so much bigger than that. She used that as an escape route. Maybe she started getting what she wanted from the married man, or maybe she found someone else she was happy with for the time being. She hops from one person to the next person. So maybe at that time she was getting happiness from somewhere else. So she just wanted to say, you're a liar, bye.
Yeah, but it's so stupid. Like, she
Of
blames me
course.
for cheating, but she's the one who's the cheater.
That's because she's mentally ill. No one normal would do that.
Yeah, it
No
just
one
sounds.
normal would go around cheating. Didn't she cheat when she was married?
Well, she's married now. That's why I brought up the
Okay,
several
so
accounts.
she's reaching out to ex-boyfriends when she's married now. Then with her husband that she had her children with, she was cheating. Despite if she's unhappy or she's whatever victim mindset she wants to tell you as an excuse, she's a compulsive cheater. So maybe she's addicted to constantly feeling that new sense of new love. It's exhilarating when you find someone new and you feel new love. But then it seems like her pattern is she gets bored of people very quickly. So she goes from person to person to person.
No, because she's been with this guy for over a couple years now. So
But you know she's a cheater, a liar, cheater, from what you went through with her. She's not going to message you and be like, hey, I've been cheating on this husband too. You can only imagine what kind of people like her who are compulsive attention seekers and liars. They're not just one person's going to save them. They need to see a problem in it. And she doesn't see a problem in it because she's getting attention and validation from all these different men. So I'm sure in this little marriage that she's had, I'm sure she talks to other men from her area and cheats on him as well. But maybe he just doesn't know. And she's definitely not going to out herself and tell you that.
no, she's not.
No, she's not going to say, hey, I'm a liar and a cheater, and guess what? I'm married now, and, I got bored, so I have 2 other married men I'm talking to, and she's not going to tell on herself like that because it makes her look bad, and she wants to make herself look great.
Yeah, exactly.
And she has all this validation from new men telling her, "Oh, you're so hot. Oh, you're sexy. Let's meet up and have a rendezvous and stuff like that." Because it's a rush. It's addiction. It's an addiction to.
Well, no, she's not like that. So she wants to stick with one man, but she gets insecure with that one man because everything revolves around that one man because she doesn't have any friends. So when she gets triggered is when other men
Mm,
or maybe women friends go and talk to the man that she's interested in. Then
mm.
she gets crazy.
Okay, so she has deep, 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 deep insecurity. And girls who have no friends and family members don't count. A girl who can't keep a friend, fucking run, because that means they're so mentally unstable that they can't even keep a good girlfriend. And I've met multiple girls that I've been friends with, what I began having a friendship with, and I was wondering, oh, I feel bad. I kind of like wanted to help them, and I felt bad. Why don't they have any friends? And then I find out really quick why I don't have anyone.
Oh, because they start stalking you and controlling you?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Or yeah, I mean, I had a friendship I think I told you about with this girl I met in hair school, 15, 16 years ago, and she had a borderline personality disorder.
Oh, yeah.
And our friendship at first was so intense. Like I was like, oh my God, I feel like we've known each other forever. Oh my God, we get along and da 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 da. And it was like this new rush of a best friendship. And then she told me she had borderline, which I didn't know about back then. I was 21 years old, I don't know about that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she just started turning into a psychopath, very controlling of me. I mean, one day my cell phone died, and I charged it, and I had 20 texts of her threatening me just because my phone died and I wasn't responding to her. But they reel you in with these deep, deep, heavy new emotions that it almost became like a weird relationship with her. It was like more than a friendship. It's like she had to have control of me. And
Yeah, if you turn yourself into an island and your only source is your boyfriend or your husband, that may become a problem.
I don't know. It was just so bizarre. But then I realized, oh, this is why she can't keep a friend, because she's absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
People
because,
are so complicated.
I kind of figure people out, but some people might
Mm-hmm.
have multiple different diagnoses, for lack of a better
Mm-hmm.
word, um,
Yeah.
and get more complicated. But Beth was like that at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
where, and she actually took an online test and self diagnosed herself with borderline personality disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Because she passed 9 of the 12 questions that label you as borderline.
And I believe it.
So yeah, she's got a lot of issues, but that doesn't explain why she's still with this guy.
She's going to be with him until she doesn't get what she needs from him anymore, and then we'll be done. And I promise you. And like I said, you don't even know. She could be legally married to him and faking a thing, but that doesn't mean she's not doing what she's always done and hiding, cheating, scandals, and maybe she's acting nuts towards him. You just don't know. When someone's unstable and they do things and they're insecure and need attention, they they put on a show. Everyone puts their best face forward to the world, to the internet, to the world. But everyone's so much deeper, and you already know what kind of person she is. She could. I would almost put a gun to my head and pull the trigger if someone said, "Kill yourself if she's cheating," and I would say yes.
Yeah.
I would, because that's her pattern and that's who she is. And she might be married, like I said, might be married to this guy and taking pictures for social media and looking happy, but she's not going to put on social media that she's insecure, not getting everything she wants from him, so she's cheating.
Yeah,
And
she.
especially you know that there's a problem in her marriage right now, because anyone who's happily married does not feel the need to make profiles and speak to their ex-boyfriends.
Yeah, yeah,
Red
exactly.
flag, red flag. And if she's doing that to you, I highly bet that might be doing that to other men, like talking to other men that she has hooked up with in the past too, because she comes back because she wants that validation. Oh, I treated you like shit, but you love me because I'm so great. Give me that feeling that I need of, like I said, codependency, control. I'm a victim. I'm gonna tell you a story. Are you still here to love me?
Well, see, that's the other thing. So I talked to another therapist, and they said
Mm-hmm.
that it's okay to look at, profiles from your ex and,
Mm-hmm.
wondering what
That's
they're
okay.
doing. But to me, I don't think it feels okay because what are you looking back for?
I feel like everyone's a little curious. I've looked at, like, I'm happily married. I love my husband. We don't have problems. We don't argue. Like, we honestly, like, this is the most healthiest relationship I've ever had in my life. And, oh, every once in a while, I'll think of an ex-boyfriend and, like, type his name in because I just want to look. And I look with the hope that they're doing so worse without me. I always look like, oh, I hope they look like shit. Oh, I hope they're doing terrible. Just because, I don't know, you want to see what's going on. Just because you don't love them anymore doesn't mean you're not nosy.
Beth looks back in the hopes of, well, I hope this guy is fat, ugly, and doing worse and doesn't have a job. So it validates her making the right choice on moving on. Most of her life, she's made bad choices.
I think people are just nosy and they want to keep tabs on things.
Well,
Like, kind of like even with like an old best friend. Like, say you had a best friend for 20 years and then you guys went through this big friendship breakup. Every once in a while, they're going to cross your mind and you're going to want to see what they're up to. But it doesn't mean you feel bad. It just means, like, we're human. It's in human nature to be nosy and see what other people are doing.
well, let's put it this way. So if you had a relationship that was abusive physically and mentally, would you
Mm-hmm.
really want to look back?
No, no, not with someone like that. Absolutely not.
In Beth's case, she does look back, even though she tells me messages, I never want to talk to you again because you lie about your job or whatever it is. But she still continues to look back. She contradicts herself all the time or changes her mind, which is hypocritical. Yeah, because, it's not that I don't wish people well, but her, I don't really care. I wish, she would just fall off the earth or her husband would
Mm-hmm.
abuse her or
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
um,
for sure. And she deserves it. I don't give a fuck. She deserves it. People who do shitty things to people deserve shitty things done to them, and I will die on that hill.
yeah, because she's
I love I love when people get their karma. I love it.
yeah, because I'm half tempted to make a video recording like all the times that she made fake accounts while she
Mhm.
was married.
Mhm.
And she has a text message sending me that she says she misses me, and then I didn't
Mhm.
respond.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what would her husband really say about that?
His heart would probably sink, and he would be like, "What the fuck?" And who even knows if that's going to be the first time that he's caught her doing something? Because I'm sure she's been texting on her phone to random men too. But you know how you would feel? So fucking amazing. Can you imagine how good you would feel when you release that? And it's not like you're doing anything wrong. You're just exposing the truth, and the truth either hurts you or it helps you.
Yeah, because I kind of did that to one of her boyfriends,
Mhm.
and we became friends. So at the
Mhm.
beginning, he was pushing back, being defensive, defending her all the
Mhm.
time, and
Because she's a victim, of course.
And eventually he saw that side of her
Mhm.
that I was describing, and then he goes, "Oh, I didn't really see this because I was in the relationship, and I
Mhm.
couldn't see it from the outside."
Of course. The truth always comes out.
In this case, I forced the truth to come out because I was forced to hang out with her ex-boyfriend, which made me uncomfortable. So she was allowed to contact her ex-boyfriends, but I wasn't allowed to talk to anybody because of her jealousy issues.
The truth always comes out, especially with today. I mean, we have phones, we have internet, we have videos, we have so much stuff. You can't lie about anything. You can't lie about anything. There's always, like, even, I don't even know why people go out and steal and do crimes and stuff like that, because you're being watched constantly. It's like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
always going to be proof.
Yeah, there's video cameras all over the place now.
Yeah, yeah.
And people
There's
with the
always proof. Lies will always be exposed, and if it's not immediately, it will eventually happen.
yeah, and people have their phones and YouTube a lot of things.
Mhm.
So
Yep. People always get caught. Like, even things what's going on in pop culture today and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if you've, not to get political or whatever, but have you heard about the Erica Kirk thing?
no, I don't really follow the news.
So, long story short, she tries to put herself out there as this perfect Christian wife and blah, 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 blah. But people are digging back into her past and pulling so much stuff out that she probably didn't even think was still on the internet or anyone could find. So, long story short, there's always proof.
Yeah, because I can Google my name and I can see things that were from years and years, like over
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago,
Yeah, yeah.
where I couldn't. Well, I did. Somebody interviewed me,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a bachelor's degree back then, and I couldn't even get a job at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
So they did an interview about me about that.
Okay.
So that's still
Yeah.
there, but it seems a little embarrassing now.
No, that's not embarrassing. You know what's embarrassing? Being a terrible human being is embarrassing.
Yeah, but
Not looking for a job.
that kind of stuff that's not really out there on how bad somebody is.
It can and can't be. But if people, even if people are trying to be secretive, like, you have evidence, no matter how many pages she makes, I would just take a picture, screenshot all of them, and yeah, I would build a big, hardy case and just send it all to this guy. I really would, because if you just send a few things, she could easily talk her way out of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because she likes to control and play victim. Well, I did this because I was feeling this in my childhood, this, so that's why I'm shitty.
Yeah, or she'll say I photoshopped it or made something up, or
Oh,
so that's
yeah.
why I'm gonna videotape it instead.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, smart. Yes.
So, but the funny thing is, she did that to her, trying to get that ex-husband, or not ex-husband, the guy who was married. His name is Rob,
Oh, yeah.
and
Okay.
he's still married to his wife, and he's got 4 kids. He lived with his wife and kids, and all she was a side piece. And
Of course.
me and her cousin tried to convince her to break up with this guy, and she wouldn't. So she chased him for 6 years, or they chased each other for 6 years, on and off, even while she was trying to date me. She's worried about if I would cheat, or if I'm talking to women friends that are friends. She thinks that I'm going to cheat, where she's going after a guy that's already married, and he has 2 side pieces. Her name was Becky, and then, of course, Beth walked into that too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It
So
just doesn't make sense that she's walking into somebody who's cheating on her already.
Mhm.
But she would break up with me in a minute if she found out I was talking to one of my friends that's a woman that's even married.
Because it's a control thing. It's control. She just wants control. People who want control don't want you talking to your friends, your family, anybody who can give you like, hey, snap out of it, come to reality, don't you see this? They don't want that. They want you to be secluded and alone.
Well, yeah, and I gave her that, and she still left.
Well, yeah, because she's not right within herself. She's gonna leave. She's gonna, with her personality disorder and how she treats people, and she just uses everyone as like a little high to boost her ego. But she's she's going around fucking up with people and fucking up, their feelings and stuff. But in the long run, she's gonna be left all by herself.
Well, she said she learned a lot of things, and now she's not doing any of that now.
Sure. So that's a concept. She's a compulsive liar. They're always different. Don't they always say they're different? They're not going to say, "Oh yeah, I'm still doing all this shit." They're going to make themselves sound the best version of themselves that they can tell you.
Yeah, but then I wanted closure, and she's never going to give me closure. But she told me that
I understand.
She told me that you can only be a victim once. And I'm like,
oh, but isn't she a constant victim from her? Everything she does is because her childhood. So she's a continuous victim.
Yeah, but then I also become a victim if she forces herself to keep in contact with me when I don't want anything to do with her. I don't respond to her.
Yeah.
I delete all of her fake profiles if I figure out, if that's her.
Yeah. And that's the right thing to do. But yeah, she's keeping that wound open by continuously coming back because she knew that you loved her and cared about her. And she liked the power that she had control over you. And she's just putting her foot out there to see, do you still care about me? Am I still the best person you've ever been with? Da-da-da-da-da. Because it's about manipulating and controlling people's feelings.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
People are just fucked up. Sometimes the conclusion is just somehow finding a way, and it could take years, it could take forever to just work on the conclusion or, the final, whatever would you call it? The closure. Sorry. The closure is that you're not going to ever get closure because that's something adults that have normal brains do, is they talk like adults and have proper closure. But someone who's still toxic and mentally ill will never give you anything that you're going to be satisfied with.
Yeah, but the closure is walking away and figuring out that you don't need that abuse.
Yeah. Do you feel like in some way that you deserved it?
I think she deserves something.
Yeah, definitely. But for your closure, like, what would it take for you to feel closure on the situation?
I don't know, just to get what she deserves, so to say. I mean, not
In
to
a
be
way.
evil, you know what I mean?
No, I love being evil. I get so much satisfaction when bad people, like I said, get their karma. But the closure, I feel like deep down, I mean, I know you're angry. Of course you're angry, but you're really deep down hurt. And I feel like the closure you want is that she apologizes and admits she's wrong and, goes over everything that you play in your head over and over.
Well, she's done that over and over again, but she's never changed. So she says she's sorry. It's just empty promises.
Yeah, because she says it to play with your emotions, but then she's not really sorry, or she would change. People who are sorry change, and people who aren't sorry say whatever and then continually do what they want to do.
Yeah, it's like she's a walking contradiction. So
Yeah,
she said she learned a lot, but I think the only thing she learned is to hide things better.
100%. Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Yeah. She's leveled up with her nonsense. She's just finding more and more ways to get away with everything she's been doing.
Yeah, and I think this guy doesn't have any women friends, so she feels safer with him.
Mm-hmm.
Just like my mom is safe with Buddy.
Mm-hmm. If women friends or not, she has a deep-rooted insecurity that is going to ruin every single relationship she's ever in. And she's the only person that can decide to get help for that.
Well,
But I don't. God.
she is getting help. She's getting therapy,
Mm,
but I think the therapists don't know that she's a chronic liar,
right.
and she'll manipulate the therapist to get on their side, so to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been in that situation. I've been in that situation before, too, and I really felt for people. And then I found out, oh, well, this person was in prison for pimping out their children. And I'm like, damn, because some people are just so believable.
Yeah, like yeah, they cry
Mm-hmm.
when they want to.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, and it's not about them being upset. It's about them giving you what they think you need to see.
or I think they're crying about them trying not to be wrong
Mm-hmm.
from what they're doing.
It's all a show. It is all a show.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of sucks.
It does suck. I feel very sad that that's going to lead her to be an old woman alone because of she's her own worst enemy. But like I said, nobody can change anybody else. You could talk to her to your blue in the face. You can plead. You could do anything. People, unless something major happens and it clicks in her to really get help, not go to a therapist and lie, like to really be straight up, they will change. But most people don't, and especially with borderline.
No, I don't think she's ever going to change because that means that she was lying to both of her kids. And
I mean, what kind of person? What kind of person goes around like that? That is just so heartless. It's just so selfish.
yeah, because she was like she was calling this married guy
Mm-hmm.
while she was dating me. So she broke up with me to go out with him, but she told her daughter that I was mean to her, which
Yeah,
I wasn't the one who was cheating or being mean to her. She
of
cheated on
course.
me and she left on her own.
Well, that's her, again, doing the controlling thing and manipulating people by her being the victim.
Yeah, but now, when we get back together because she made false promises that I didn't know about,
Hmm.
and her daughter kept on not liking me.
Because her mom's a compulsive liar, and she will learn that on her own. I mean, I'm sure she's old enough to start seeing weird things with her mom, but people will find out people figure out the truth. Kids figure out the truth about their parents. They do.
I don't know. They can hide it pretty well. At least she could. I always called her a good salesman
Hmm.
because she can probably sell dirt and say it's crystals or something or diamonds.
I think her kids are the closest to seeing her truth, even if she lies to them and hides stuff. They know her more than probably anyone will get to know her. And they see her patterns, and they see her constantly bringing different men around, and they see her acting like a teenager, and they see that they're not a priority. They see it. They know. They're not stupid.
I don't know.
It's all about her.
Yeah, because her son doesn't really care.
Because he probably doesn't care because he's been hurt by it, so he just turned off his emotions. Kind of like you with your mom. She's been so hurtful that you just kind of walked away or turned off your emotions because it was hurtful.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So at the same time, I mean, I don't mean to bring this up, but
God.
I think your father is in a relationship with a Beth type person. So
Oh
he's
my
he's
God.
reacting in a certain way that you
My
don't.
dad is the biggest people pleaser. And it's never with his family. It's never with me and my mom. It's always for women.
Well, no, it's this controlling person that now he's drawn to because she's really manipulative,
Yeah.
and he doesn't
Well,
know how to
she
handle it.
well, she is very controlling and manipulative. This is another codependent relationship. He is a people pleaser, and she is controlling and manipulative, and she plays victim all the time. So my dad's stuff has really bothered me to my core, and I had to think of him as a man and not my dad.
Next time, we will talk about this controlling relationship on the next episode of Sex, Dating, and Relationship Advice. We will see you next time.